Hi guys, Nige back here again, and today we've got another inbox review, and we've got something a little bit special today. We're going to be having a look at Hong Kong models, Avro Lancaster, the Dambusters. Okay, so this one is, well, as it says, is the Dambusters one. I can't remember which mark it is. Okay, but it looks really fantastic. So what we'll do, we'll get it on overhead and we'll get cracking. So with this kit you get a poster. Okay, as you can see mine's ripped, but that's not such a big issue. Okay, because I normally just save the box art. All right, or I would just cut this down, but you can see we've got a picture of the box art before we move on to the actual instructions for this. So let me get rid of that. Okay, and as you can see we've got a little bit of write-up on this. We've got quite a big booklet, okay, probably nearly A3 size. So when you open it out, it's quite big, and you get an amendments page. So when we got to 17, 18, okay, we'll have a look at that. So I'll just put that there for the moment, so we can have a look at the difference. So there we are. We've got, starting with the cockpit and the pilot seat, and then all the other radio operators and crew parts behind this. Okay, as you can see there, and the navigator before we get the main deck. So that'll be the main deck, and then we've got the top of the bomb bay. Moving on again past the main upper compartment, we move along, adding another part of this aircraft before we start looking at adding parts to the fuselage. Okay, and then joining those parts up like so. We've then got the nose turret, I believe, or is that the tail one? So we've got the nose, the upper, and the tail. There we are. Okay, we've got the nose part, upper turret with the guns, the upper turret, and then we've got the rear turret. Okay, we've then got the canopy going together and going on before we then start looking at the tail parts. We've then got the, so it says there are many theories of the location of the rear spotlight. Part G11, okay, is private for the modeler who firmly believes the correct position on top of the bomb bay is opposed to our research. I don't know where that is, but that, okay, we're going to have a look at this amendment part. So the amendment part, we've got 17. Let's have a look, see what's different. Let's have a look. I can't really tell what's different. Okay, well, I'm sure it'll come apart when I start actually building it. Then we've got 18.1, these parts, so they're building it without that part there. And then 18.2, oh, okay, it's T27, so it says 22 there, which obviously is the same part there, but T27 just there. Put that away again. When we get to number 23, we'll have a look at. So you can see we've got the mechanism for the bouncing bomb. We've then got a rail and a tail wheel. Before we move on to actually adding the canopy parts and the nose parts, before then we come to 23, and there we are, 23. It actually, let's just make sure, 22, yes, L4, L5. You can actually see the upper turret is blanked off here, so I wonder if you're meant to having the turret blanked off. It doesn't actually explain it on there. Okay, I can't remember whether the Dambusters had the upper turret or not. Yes, okay, so yeah, you can see on 21 we've got the blanking plate, so yes, there would be no upper turret, so you don't have to build the upper turret on this. We move into the engines, so you get 4 full engines, okay, that you could go to town with. Propellers, wheels going together, engine nacelles going on like so, and ones with the wheelbase, upper and lower wings going mated together before we then move on to putting the nacelles on, putting the wheels actually in there, whether you wanted it flying or not. You then get the other nacelles for the other wing, then joining the wings together. Okay, the way they do it, clip on, and those are I don't know what they're for. Let me just have a look. L21. Can't really see what those parts are, but I'll make when I start building it. I'll probably all they're probably all these parts. Okay. And then we've got our sprue map and our decal options, and then we should have our painting options. So we've got EG932 AJG, okay, 17 Squadron, 617 Squadron, IF Scampton, May 1943, with the call outs in AK Career Interactive, Mr. Gay, Gauze, or Mr. Hobby, and Tamiya. And then we've got the actual stencil data. Before we then got all our colour guides. So we'll move straight into the plastic parts. Okay, I've left these all in a bag because I just quickly open them up like so before we get them out. Okay, so there we've got our bouncing bomb, our plate, okay, for blanking off the rest of the actual bomb bay, and where the bouncing might actually attach to it, and the actual mechanism itself. Okay, so nice detail on the bomb itself. We've got some recess going all the way around and some raised on the actual 2 ends. So this next bag, I'll find where it is, looks like some of the main compartment parts. So inside the actual fuselage, okay, so we've got the bomb bay area, so you can see the underneath of the bomb bay, and then we've got some of the control surfaces, some parts of the undercarriage bays all the way along, the instrument panel, radio. Again, it's all nicely done. Some nice recessed panel detail, some nice recessed detail on the instrument panel, some nice detail in the wheel wells. The other part, we've got the cockpit floor, side walls of the cockpit, some really nice fine parts for the they're going to be for the bomb bays, I would assume, if you're having the bomb bay doors open. Our tail wheel just there, again some more instrument bits, and again all nicely done. Some nice dial detail, some nice detail on the bulkheads. Okay, it's all really nicely done. Okay, so this is the part for some of the turrets. So we've got the guns, we've got the upper turret there, but you'll not be using it in this aircraft. We've got parts of the cockpit, so the seats just there. Some nice fin parts all round. The blanking plate for where the upper turret is. Some really nice detail all round. Some nice fine moulding. Next part is engine and main wheels. So there's two in this bag, so we'll only open one up. If I can get it open, that is. Okay, so we've got our main wheels, a two-part. We've got our engines. Okay, again, some really nice engine detail. We've got our exhausts that go on there, the spinners. Okay, so it's really nice that you do get 4 full engines. So if you wanted to, you could maybe open this up so you could go to town with the engines and really look at it really nicely. We've got the props. So I would assume we've got a couple of bags of these. Oh no, there's not a couple of bags. There's 12 blades in there. Okay, so there's not really going to be too much, I would have thought, on these. Okay, but there we've got a blade. We've got 2 of these. Okay, just the mould line to get rid of. And then move into one half of the fuselage. I'm only going to open one half. Okay, because this one's got some extra bits in it. So I'll only open up this half. Okay, I'll put that bit to one side, and you can see we've got a nice ribbon running throughout the aircraft. I like that instead they had these Hong Kong models up in the nose section for the B-17. I like how they've put it out of the way, just there. Okay, the wings will go on there. It doesn't look like we're going to get the actual spar bits, okay, because there's actually a massive spar that went between, so the pilot and anybody that was going further down, if they needed to, had to climb over that spar to get to the rear of the aircraft. On the outside, we have rivet detail all the way down. Now, there's no stress skin on this one. I believe there is on the 32nd one, but on this 48 version, there's no stress skin, but there's some nice rivet and recessed panel lines. So that's all really nicely done. In that bag, we had another one. So these are parts for the engines, some sort of intake or vents. Okay, just like that. Nothing really to talk about, really. We'll not do that fuselage part. Then we've got the upper and lower wings. Again, there's 2 of these, so I will only open up the one for us to look at. Okay, so these are in 2 parts, but I'll just keep them together just for ease. Okay, if I can put them back together now. Oh, well, I'll just separate them. So we've got the upper wing. Okay, again, some really nice recessed detail on there with the first part of the engine nacelles. They've got the control surfaces. One of the major downsides of these in here, you can see these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 injection pin marks that you have to get rid of. Now, it's not as bad as the B-17 because they had one every other, and these are a lot smaller, so you should be able to get rid of those fairly easy. That's the upper. We've got the lower part. Okay, as you can see, again, some nice detail on there. That's rough there. I don't know whether that's meant to be recessed, but you can actually feel, so they might need a quick swipe over to smooth them up like the rest of the actual rivets. Again, like I said, there's 2 of them, so I'll just put that to one side. Then we're looking at the engine nacelles and the tail. Put that over there. Start with this one. So we have our tail and our control surfaces Okay, so these are control surfaces that go near the engine nacelles. Again, some nice recessed detail. Our tail fins, okay, and they are all one part, which is great, which means you don't have any, you just got to clean up quick line and they should be brilliant. We've then got some more of the control surfaces. Now, I'm not sure if you have these down or open, whether you'd have to get rid of these injection pin marks all the way along here. Okay, and it might be then the same here. I don't know. Okay, that's something you'll have to have a look at. Nice fabric detail actually on these control surfaces on the tail. Okay, and again some nice recessed detail all the way through. We then move on to the engine nacelles themselves. So you can see some lovely detail on these engine nacelles, recessed panel lines and what have you. Main wheel bay doors. Okay, so you can just see the overall size of this aircraft. It's going to be absolutely massive. We then got our clear parts. I'm not going to take the clear parts out because they're on this bit of carding in there. But looking through the plastic bag, the actual canopy looks absolutely fantastic. Really, really well done. Nice, really nice detail all the way through. And then we move on to the photo etch. Okay, nice photo etch on there for harnesses and other bits and pieces. And then on to the decals. Now these decals are printed by Cartograph, so I'm not envisioning any problems. We'll just get out what we can. I'm not gonna. All right, they will come out of there. So there we are. We've got the AJG ED932, and we have the actual main roundels, as we can see. Look really nice. Cartograph, so you really can't go wrong with them. So that's Hong Kong Models Lancaster Dambuster, and we have it on our website. I can't remember what it's at now, but it is a fantastic looking kit. I've heard it goes together really well, so it's one I'm looking forward to doing. Hopefully not into the too distant future, maybe. I don't know. Well, mind you, I've got the B17 to get done to start first, so I might, once I get that done, then I'll start this. All right. Anyway, that's it from me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.